Yes. People, what's going on? It's Eagle Talks Football. We're back again with another video. Bob's in the Six is happening on a Monday night because, of course, yesterday I was watching the NFL. The games were going on until like late. So I was like, you know what? We're not going to do a late video. Let's just do it on Monday. So hopefully you guys are here. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. And we're going to be talking about Tottenham's relegation form, Chelsea getting slapped up by Man City 3-1, Liverpool's utter domination over Ipswich, and Arsenal versus the referees once again. Episode whatever with the referees and Arsenal. It just always ends up happening. Why do the referees have an agenda against Arsenal? Maybe I should ask Rack. Why do the referees have an agenda against Arsenal, Rack? Maybe I should ask Ahmed. Why do the referees have an agenda against Arsenal, boys? Did you see the referee call this weekend? Oh, my goodness. Even you, Rack, somebody who's predominantly known as a referee defender or anti-conspiracy theorist, always comes on here and says there's no agenda against Arsenal. The referees are just shit. They don't have it out to get you. Even you have to see that referee decision that happened on the weekend and say, what the hell is this?
So that decision in particular, yes, I disagree with. I think that was a yellow card. I don't think that was a red card. But first of all, if you say there's a conspiracy theory, you have to make the case to say there is a conspiracy against Arsenal.
The conspiracy is that you know what, we'll get into it. Let's talk about that referee decision. Let's talk about this referee decision before we take away from that actual moment.
I think it should have been a yellow card. Should have been a yellow card, in my opinion.
100%. He took the man out, and to give a yellow card in that situation, I don't think anybody complains. But then to the referees to come out afterwards and say it was because of serious foul play is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, a couple of ex-referees came out and said they thought it was a yellow card. I think Keith Hackett and the other guy on Sky, they both said it was a yellow card. But what's his name? The head of referees and the statement, they said they stuck by a decision. I guess they're just backing their guy to some extent, or I don't know. I saw some things, some people saying that they tweeted, they shared something and then it got taken down on Sky and all this kind of stuff. I don't know. In my opinion, I think a yellow card would have been, as the rules as they are, a yellow card is more than enough, and a red card. I tweeted it. I literally tweeted it a couple of minutes after it happened because I was watching Liverpool game and then I saw Arsenal got a man sent off, so I switched over to the Arsenal just to see what happened. And I tweeted it immediately. I said, I think that's very harsh on Skelly for a red card.
What about Ahmed? Did you see the foul? Surely you should have seen it. You're on mute.
There we go. Sorry about that. Now, I saw the foul, obviously. I don't think it was a red, of course. I think it probably a yellow. I think that's probably what it should have been because obviously it wasn't still impeding play, stopping them from obviously counter-attacking. At the end of the day, I think the referee got it wrong. I think the only thing I can reasonably think of is that I think the referee didn't see anyone else in his peripheral vision that was ahead of them, and that's what I think. That's why I think he gave good. That's the only thing I can give him. Like if I'm trying to give him a bit of levity, if that makes sense, Igal. But at the end of the day, it should have been yellow, and it's a mistake in it. So we keep it pushing.
Okay.
Have you got your red? I'm assuming your red card's been rescinded, right? You can play next game.
Not yet. No, not yet.
That will probably happen.
No, they're doubling down.
There's no way they're doubling down on that one.
They've said that this was serious foul play and anything above the ankle is considered a foul. Now, let me show you guys the actual image, a clearer image. They're saying this is serious foul play and this is warranted.
But that's not above the ankle, though. That's what I'm saying. So
yeah. No, but also
I can go.
Was there not contact before that still?
Yeah, it has to be the motion. What was the motion? Yeah.
There was higher contact. I still don't think it's a red card. That's not the initial point of contact. The initial point of contact was above the ankle, but it's still extremely harsh in my opinion.
Yeah. The point I'm trying to make, I think it should be impeding play and it should be a yellow. That's what I think that's like the most logical thing we can say. Now, I don't know about like the dangerous rules, whatever you want to call them. I forget what they're called.
Let me show you guys what they actually said before we go any further.
Yeah.
I'm making up stuff. Referee calls for a red card for Myles Lewis-Skelly. and confirmed by VR, deemed his challenge has been serious foul play.
That's what I'm asking you. So I don't know. I know they usually deem, you know, like the stuff where like when you're like tackling, then the legs there, then your thing goes like that. That's, I know, deemed serious foul play. Maybe when you're hitting someone with like a flipping thing, like what Jhon Pedro almost did, right, to another player. That's definitely like a red. Those are like serious. So like I think with him, it wasn't serious foul play. I just literally think what it was, you're impeding the difference. Like that is what I think it should have been. So it should have been yellow. So like I think we're all in agreement there. I'm pretty sure on that one. No one's gonna say so.
You know what makes it worse? You know what makes it worse?
I'm listening.
Luckily we won, but the referee's right there. He's literally standing right there.
Yeah, but I think I think the thing of like, listen, yeah, if you look at it from that angle as well, I don't want to be like the rest of that guy, yeah, but he's seeing it from the same angle as like the Wolves player. The Wolves player is technically impeding his vision, right? I think all he can pretty much see is then maybe the foot hit the player. So I think we need to be. I think we need to be a little bit fair. A little bit. I'm just trying to be trying to show a little bit of grace.
But how do referees see that and say, you know what, we're gonna agree with him and back him?
That, I think that's what you need to talk about, right? You need to talk about VAR saying, agreeing that it's serious foul play. That's where they should have actually like looked at it, right? Because I can understand it from the ref's perspective, because he's kind of impeded by the Wolves player. If you look at just from that angle, vision wise, so all he's seeing is just the red guy coming like bang, essentially.
You know, it goes down to the rules, right, about this whole re-refereeing stuff. Now, in theory, I can understand why they brought in, but ultimately, if you have something that's clearly a wrong decision, in my opinion,
exactly, yeah,
I think there's enough to say that was a clear and obvious error, and I don't think it's re-refereeing when you pull it back, and this is why it becomes a little bit like. They're trying to find this balance with VAR, but I don't know if other countries have ever had this kind of much consternation about it. It's really weird. And the ironic thing is, the Wolves player in the second half who got sent off, it was a very similar tackle in my opinion, and that was given as a yellow card. So that's also odd. The irony is that the Wolves player, his first red yellow card was what was it for?
Can you repeat that for me, bro? Sorry, my apologies.
So the Wolves player who got sent off, he got sent off for his second yellow card. Does anyone know what the first yellow card was for?
The first was delay. I think it was delay a game.
Yeah, it was ironic against Arsenal. He kicked the ball away. Which is obviously something Arsenal fans have complained about a lot, saying it doesn't happen. So it does actually still happen. But the red card was very unfortunate for Arsenal, for Skelly.
And you know what? He plays Newcastle. He would be suspended for the Man City game. Conspiracy with Man City. I don't want to go there. He could play. He's gonna miss the Newcastle game. It's actually documented that the referees in Newcastle.
What? So he's actually gonna go through like the whole 4-match ban? They're really giving him like the 4-match ban. That is ridiculous, bro. I can't lie.
If he does get the 4-match ban, he'd miss the Newcastle game, the Man City game, and another game. And he has direct connection to the Newcastle fan, and he's not allowed to referee Newcastle or Sunderland games. That's documented. Rack, we went over this last time with the Jared Gillett situation, remember? And
yeah, there's photos out of him out there with the Newcastle kit on.
And the Man City allegations always run through also.
But what's Man City? What's Man City? No, I can understand why you. I don't agree with it at all. I give it zero credibility, right? But I don't understand why you're bringing Man City into this. What's Man City got to do with this?
Wait, what the hell?
You got any idea what Man City got to do?
Huh?
1 second. We're going to talk about Man City in a second. Did you see the... No, you know what? Yeah, that's a whole conversation for another day. The whole Man City thing is a whole can of worms about them going to Abu Dhabi, refereeing in the Abu Dhabi League, making money over there. Same owner, the same board members run.
But remember, I told you, I think I've spoken about this before with you, bro, on the channel, right? Where I've said, I think a part of the problem that we have, particularly with refereeing in this country, they're underpaid, right? And then because they have to do these other trips here, back and forth to different countries, whether it be Saudi Arabia to get paid and stuff like that, what does that cause? fatigue. They're almost basically becoming like players. By the time they come back to referee the next game, they're not.
Ahmed, that's not what Igal is implying. Igal is implying that because
he's implying match fixing. Oh, okay, I get it.
He's implying that because he's gone to Abu Dhabi and refereed a game between two other teams, he therefore favours Man City. That is such a crazy stretch.
That's a crazy stretch for it. I feel like that's what I was talking about. Probably is a bit more logical.
I don't think 147K a year is underpaid.
They don't get 147K. I thought they really get. I think I saw someone they get somewhere around about. I thought it was like 30K.
Igal's seen the payslips, man. Igal's seen the payslips.
Because I thought in the EP. I thought like because someone said to him, I got informed they only get paid like £1,000 per match game in the UK.
No, they get more. They get more.
Average
I didn't know that. I thought that's what I had. My apologies.
When they first
salary, average referee salary is between 73K a year to 147K a year.
Bloody hell!
That's average. But that's average across. That's not just Premier League referees. That's all referees. From the point they went professional.
That's all English. Yeah. Now, Michael Oliver is the highest senior, like one of the best referees in England, and he's one of the most higher paid referees. He's the guy who goes to World Cups and the Euros and everything for them. So he's currently in the highest bracket, getting close to 150K a year.
But listen, one thing I also want to say, listen, we can admit it's a red. So it's not a red, so my apologies, and everything included with that. But I do think, listen, from what I've seen from Michael Oliver, I don't think he makes mistakes, right? He's actually probably one of the few referees that I would at least say from when I've watched Chelsea games. I don't know if Liverpool fans, City fans have seen him make a lot more mistakes in their games. I don't really see, obviously, him making.
Can I give you an example?
I'm asking you, that's why.
Doku kicking McAllister in the chest?
What about it? He made a mistake.
No? Okay. What about the fact that have you guys ever seen a player get 2 yellow cards in the same phase of play since Martinelli did?
Okay. No? But was it incorrect? Was it incorrect though? I know.
I've never seen it happen again.
But Arsenal have this thing where
I've never seen it happen again.
Okay, I think we're fighting demons now, bro. Respectfully, we're fighting demons, bro. We're fighting demons. We're fighting demons, bro. We're fighting demons now. I feel like this is what we did.
What about Kovacic? 2 red card challenges on Odegaard and Rice.
But that might be. Listen, again, I would have to look at it again because I can't remember the game. I've not watched the game. But then again, I would argue I would have to see it first before you start saying this is a red card offense or not. And I just think for me, at the end of the day, I'm saying in general, from what I've seen.
You also sent off Trossard this year?
Bro, you're talking about one game, bro. What's going on? I feel like the Trossard one was valid. The Trossard one was even valid, if I'm not mistaken.
Trossard kicking the ball away was a second yellow card.
They said they was told.
He followed the rules. He delayed play by kicking the ball, and the second one was a foul. I don't know what you want to say.
They changed the rule that you can't even get sent off for that anymore.
You can't get sent off for what?
For kicking the ball away.
What?
Yeah, so you get a yellow card and you can just randomly kick the ball away whenever you want. You're not going to get red. That's not the rules.
We see it all the time. Liverpool players kick the ball away every week. Don't you? Have you seen one yellow card?
Okay. Well, we saw one in your game. We saw one in your game for the guy who got sent off. The Wolves player. His first yellow card was for kicking the ball away.
He was doing it to appease the Arsenal fans.
I can't believe what I'm hearing, bro. I think we're doing too much now.
You know what? I was
guys, we spent 14 minutes on it.
Hold on. I was watching the stream.
Just as Jacobs, so Jenny's not going to let this one.
I was watching the stream and I saw Igal defending Arsenal's bugs again. And the thing is, while I take my jacket off, let's talk about it. Because this is the problem that you've got, Igal. You seem to think, by the way, didn't you say a goddamn word when you guys received the corner that wasn't a corner that you scored against versus Spurs? You didn't say a fucking word.
That happens every week.
No, bro, you didn't say a word, bro.
That happens every week.
Bro, because the thing is, no, hold on. Let me just explain 2 things really quickly. Emerson got sent off against Arsenal, for a foul that was no different to what Lewis-Skelly did. No different. Don't do this, because this is the point, yeah? When it happens to you, right, when Emerson did that tackle, I didn't think, oh my God, the ref is skanking up. I was like, you know what? You gave the referee a decision. And that's the problem for me with Arsenal fans and you. You don't understand that you're giving the ref a decision, yeah? And that decision can go for you or against you. Yeah, this is a very, 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 very harsh red. 100%. Yeah? But you put your ankle, you put your studs into somebody's ankles who's running away from you, and you give the ref a decision. To me, with Michael Oliver, Oliver is an overanalyzer. Michael Oliver overanalyzes situations. And 2, 3, 4 times a season, you're going to get a red or a decision from Oliver that a lot of people won't agree with. Yeah, and that's just the way it is. Like, at the end of the day, like, for me, if you give the referees a decision, you give them a decision. It's a very, 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 very harsh red. Yeah, I do think it's a harsh red. But the guy did put his studs into a person. He didn't trip him. He put his studs. His studs did touch.
It was the side of his foot. It was not his ankle. I can show you where direct contact.
Go on, yeah, you might as well.
I can show that. In the meanwhile, we got Detroit Rock City saying this obsession with Man City is unhealthy. It's not an obsession.
It is an obsession.
It is. It's looking like an obsession at this point, bro.
It is an obsession.
It has nothing to do with an obsession. By the way, before we go any further, I did want to say quickly, I'm very happy my team went on to go win the game. But even though we went on to go win the game, we still cannot stop talking about the ridiculous challenge. I mean, the ridiculous refereeing decision and all the bullshit that come with it. But hey, fair enough. We won the game. We got to keep it moving. Now, I'm just going to show you guys something quickly before we move on. Arsenal are linked to Duran. What's going on with that audio? What the hell? Whose audio?
I think it's Veta's fixing his thing.
Oh, yeah.
No, Veta, sorry. Oh, Veta, Jay, my apologies. Oh, my bad.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie to you guys.
Thinker. There you go.
Okay.
We're not going to talk about the Arsenal-Wolves game too much because we won the game. It is what it is. But Arsenal are recently reached out to, you know what? I know how this is going to work. Arsenal call Aston Villa. Aston Villa, how much is Jhon Durán? Guys, tell me, how much is Jhon Durán?
80 million.
I pay for him?
80 million for sure. 80 million.
80 million.
80 million. Like, listen, I would pay a
penny over. 80 million in January, or are we seeing 85, 90 in January?
Bro, 80 million British pound sterling, bro. I'm telling you right now.
Okay. You know what I'm going to tell you what Arsenal's going to say? Goodbye. They hang up the phone. They're hanging up that phone. The moment you tell Arsenal the price tag, they're hanging up the phone. They're saying, "No, we're not spending that this month."
But PSG is willing to spend that money. They're just gonna do it in the summer. Other clubs are gonna be willing to spend that money. So
we don't want Jhon Durán like that.
Well, you asked for him.
Shouldn't you be in for him?
We inquired if the situation is currently untenable, that if you'd be willing to give him to us for like what, 60, 70?
No.
80? That's ridiculous.
This guy probably right now is one of the hottest strikers right now in terms of like transfer market right now. Multiple clubs are going in for him. Even Real Madrid are alleged to be going in for this guy and inquiring for him. Even Chelsea ourselves, right? So like the point I'm trying to make, there's so many clubs in for this guy. The price gonna be going up, man. You know what I mean? What was it that I think he said in The Wire? The price of the brick keeps going up. That's what's saying. So
I don't think Arsenal have him.
That's literally what's gonna happen.
I don't think Arsenal have him as his first choice. I don't think they have him as second choice. I don't think they have him as third choice. So based on that,
was brilliant.
I don't think they'd be willing to drop 80 million on a player in Jhon Durán.
Okay, so you're gonna spend 150 million then on Isak. That's the question then. You know, if you're saying 80 million is too.
I think we're gonna go drop the money on Sesko in the summer and go and get the.
But can I ask you a question right now? Yeah, Igor. This is a question, yeah, because like I'm gonna start. I need a little press here now, yeah. I think Sesko's current market value, if I'm not mistaken, is around about 70, 80 million as well, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
So Duran is that same price. He's the same price. I would argue Duran is proven, been playing in the UCL too. Why would you rather go for Sesko than him?
Because Sesko's they're one of their first choices. they're going for Jhon Durán, who's like your third choice, and paying the same money you'd pay for your first choice might not necessarily be the right move at this moment in time.
But Igal, if
that's not what he's asking.
But Igal, if Duran's the difference between you winning the league and not, do you want Jhon Durán?
I think Jhon Durán's better than what we currently have to our disposal potentially, but I don't know.
Of course.
No, and I would argue, and personally for me, of course, and I would argue he's better than Sesko. I'll be honest, I think he's much better player than Sesko is.
Oh, I don't know.
I would have to say that, and I think the reason why I say that, watching Sesko goes through quite a bit of a dry spells because he's been going through quite a bit of a dry spot at RB Leipzig himself. I think for me, the big thing about Sesko is his.
Out of a move.
I think they will ask 8 million.
I
was gonna say, Jay, like the main thing about him is just really his shot power. That's like the thing that really like separates him.
Duran or Sesko?
Sesko.
You can make the argument for both of
them.
No,
but I don't think we're looking to spend over 65 now.
But the thing about Duran as well, though, is that listen, if I was on job share with Watkins, I'd look good. Do you know what I mean? Like, and
oh my god! Stop it, bro! Come on, man.
I'm not saying Duran's not doing work, but I'm saying that Duran's doing 50% of the minutes. Yeah, like he's not. It's not like he's unequivocally leading the line. And do you know what I mean? He had a really hot run. Then he's
playing a role. He's doing his job.
Yes.
What do you mean?
That's what he's doing. Yeah, I don't know what that means.
What I'm saying is, you don't pay £70 million for a super sub.
No, but he would be a super sub coming.
You'd be a star fee, bro.
The thing is how much data do we have to know that definitively he's gonna slap beyond?
I would argue we have. I think this season he's been somewhat of a consistent starter of the season, right? Obviously, he had that 4 red cards, which stopped him from being like a.
Somewhat is doing a lot of heavy lifting in this conversation.
I'll be honest. I want to say so personally, but
all right, guys, enough about Arsenal. 22 minutes is way more than enough time. Shout out to everyone in the comment section.
The guy's like, stop talking about
I'm probably gonna have to do a whole other video on that. Let's quickly talk about Liverpool's domination over Ipswich. Rock, take it away.
Yeah, look, it was kind of as we expected, right? I thought that it would be a reasonably easy game, and as it turned out, it probably was. The only disappointing thing is we didn't keep a clean sheet after going 4-0 up. I would have preferred us to kind of have a couple of clean sheets. But apart from that, it was relatively straightforward. No injuries.
Your boy Cody Gakpo stepping up again.
Yeah. Look, we've got weapons that can hurt you all over the pitch, and Salah got his goal, but even if you stop Salah, then there's other people there who can potentially score as well, and that's what we need at this point. Everyone needs to chip in, and that's what they're doing. So there's not really much to say, to be honest. It's going to be an interesting test coming up. That's because Bournemouth have had their way with a lot of big teams this season, especially recently. And we go to their place with them in good form, and I expect a good performance. Actually, I think they will challenge us.
Ooh.
Sorry, yeah,
and you go to Everton.
But I think these are the games. Probably these 2 games. I know you have hoped for us to drop points before, but I think you're hoping that we drop points in these 2 games. And I think if we don't, then basically your title hopes are over.
But you do know we play Man City, so we could draw versus Man City at home.
That's also possible.
What? You want to? Hold on.
I'm saying we could draw.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good for you guys.
I know. That's what I said.
Oh, but I want to continue speaking with Rax on this performance versus Ipswich. You talk about winning the next few games. Do you believe if you win the next 2, that's pretty much the league? Is that where you're taking this?
Well, I've already said that. I've already said that we're going to win the league. I'm confident now we're going to win the league. But I was taking my Liverpool hat off and putting on a fictitious Arsenal hat. And if I'm an Arsenal fan, I'm thinking, oh man, they're going to Bournemouth. Bournemouth in good form, and then they've got Everton under the lights at Goodison Park last Merseyside derby. And all
sorry, I wasn't watching, and I just ran back to make sure that did Rax take his hat off when he made that comment. I really appreciate that you did. Sorry, Rax. Carry on.
That's all right. And if I'm an Arsenal fan, then that's kind of what I'm hoping for. And I think if we don't drop points in the next 2 games, if we win at Everton and win at Bournemouth, then I think it becomes that light at the end of the tunnel starts receding.
And then it's who wins second, who gets second. Then it'll be so the league's gonna be pretty much wrapped up from that standpoint. Like the talking points on the Prem and Liverpool, I think, no disrespect, but I think it'll be boring because the league's set. Then it'll be a conversation. Well, who's finishing second, right? Is it going to be a Forest? Is it going to be an Arsenal? Is there a chance of City getting in there?
Nobody cares about who's finishing second. I still believe Arsenal is going to be in this challenge. I still believe Arsenal is going to be in this thing.
But you know what they say, man. First the worst, second the best. So I think second is wanted.
No one gives a fuck about second place, bro.
No, but there is a bit of an issue though, because if Arsenal, who was supposed to win the league this season, right, due to Man City, if not only do you not finish second, if you finish third behind somebody else,
that's where I was going.
Then that makes your season look even worse, and that makes Mikel Arteta's what's it called?
Thank you, Rex. That's where I was trying to steer the conversation.
You know something, guys? It's not about Arsenal. Let's talk about Liverpool. I fucking hate Liverpool right now. These guys are too good. They make everything look so easy. I know it's Ipswich, but you got Cody Gakpo coming out here looking really good. You got Darwin Núñez winning them games. You got Luis Diaz doing his thing. Szoboszlai is finally scoring goals and looking dominant for them. You got Gravenberch, who turned into friggin' the second coming of I don't know who. Give me a good example.
Pogba. Stop it, Fabinho.
He's not
behind. He's not.
Pogba.
Don't do the Pogba. Don't do that.
No. But he plays more like Pogba than does. Fabinho's an archetypal destroyer. He's not really a dribbler and a carrier of the ball.
Pogba's very more attacking.
Yeah. But anyway, whatever. However you want to describe it.
And Mo Salah.
You know what the thing is? The thing is that the reason why I've been confident, especially for the last few weeks, is our performances. Even though people called like the game against Brentford lucky and all that kind of stuff, like we actually dominated. We dominated that game, and people say it's lucky because we scored goals in the last 2 minutes. But if we scored those goals in the first 2 minutes, and the rest of the game panned out exactly as it was, no one would call it lucky. It's just it's the timing of the goals that people consider luck.
Also, did you guys see Mo Salah passed Henry in the all-time record books goal scoring wise in the Premier League to now be
one of the greats, man. One of the greats.
And you have people having the audacity to saying he's dethroned Henry. Listen, I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to say this clear.
How many years hasn't he?
Mo Salah has
people are entitled to their opinion.
Mo Salah can have more goals. Mo Salah can have more goals. Mo Salah can have more assists. But Henry's impact to the Premier League has been greater than Mo Salah's. That's just the honest truth. What he was doing
Henry played at a different time. Henry played at a different time in the Premier League.
I know.
I mean, you could make an argument that Salah has had as bigger impact, though. I'll be honest. Like, I think for me, I think if you're talking about the terms of like the class of Henry, like I always you can make, which is the same argument some people make about Hazard. Okay, I think that's a little bit fair, but like if you actually talk about impact, though, I would argue Salah's had just as much impact as Henry, particularly in Southeast Asia, in the Saudi Arabian world. I would make that argument, bro. You have to make that argument.
Are you 22, bro?
Listen, I'm not 22. I'm older than 22, but I'm just gonna.
Do you realize Henry's impact in the Premier League and what he was able to do in the Premier League?
Schooling you. Get pen and paper.
Listen, I already know what Henry is able to do. I was alive when Henry was doing his thing.
Henry.
You guys about to
in the world, led the world in goal scoring for 2 years. In the same time when Ronaldinho, R9, and these guys were playing, right? Yeah. On top of that, in the early
Ronaldinho goal scorer. Was he a goal scorer?
Ronaldinho 1 year had like the most goal contributions in Europe.
Igal.
I think
Igal's right. Let's not do this.
Listen, your problem is
go elsewhere. I'm staying on point.
Your problem is.
Stop it. Let me finish.
There's no problem. Right.
The thing is you're an Arsenal fan. I'm a neutral.
Okay, let me finish my point.
You're neutral. Wow.
Let me finish my point.
Go on.
I'm a neutral.
Sorry.
Let you finish. Go ahead, bro. Finish your point. Sorry, man.
I am
So,
not sitting here
a
saying
little
it's
halo
huge
appeared above his head. Just when
I'm
he said
not
that.
sitting here saying anything else. I'm just saying Thierry Henry and the impact that he had, the goal scoring that he had, aesthetics, plus eye test, plus the talent. Forget about all that stuff. Skill for skill. I think he's also a better player. I think he goal scoring wise, he can have more goals. He's also played more seasons than Henry, if I'm not mistaken. Henry did what Mo Salah has done in less years. And all around, Thierry Henry, the reason why he's considered one of the GOATs.
Did he do it in less years?
Yeah.
I think so.
No, he didn't. They played almost the same number of games in the Premier League, and I think that includes his time at Salah's time at Chelsea, which obviously wasn't.
My point to Gal is that, like, listen, I hear what you're saying. Salah's outscored Henry from the wing. Yeah, so one, that's a big thing. So we can already say can we say he's a better goal scorer than Henry straight away? Cool. Secondly, if Salah wins the league this season, he'll have 2 leagues and 1 Champions League. Henry had 2 leagues. That's it. Nothing else. 2 leagues. Obviously, all the cups and stuff, but 2 leagues. Salah will have 2 leagues and the Champions League, and he would have been integral to all of it. And he didn't have to fuck off to Barcelona to get his Champions League either. Right? I'm just saying, Igal, the way you talk like it's not a question, aesthetically, Henry's clear. Yeah? The kids in the playgrounds. Listen, I don't frequent playgrounds, seriously. No reason that anyone's gonna worry. I'm saying the kids in the playground, Henry, Vavavoom, okay, Salah won't have the streets like that.
Yeah,
no one's trying to say Salah's gonna have the streets like that.
No.
But if you're
talking, you know what the thing is, for Liverpool fans,
Jay, my final point, my final rebuttal to you, Jay.
A lot of Liverpool fans, and Rax, come in on this point. A lot of Liverpool fans, Mo Salah is arguably the best player that they've ever seen for a lot of Liverpool fans.
Yeah, fair.
Him or Van Dijk.
And I just want to say, Jay, Mo Salah, Henry's impact is what I was talking about. Henry's impact in a day and age where the Syria.
What's his impact?
No.
If Mo Salah is the best player
honestly, you guys are pissing me off. You guys are pissing me off. Mo Salah's impact is not on the same level as Henry's. Henry's impact in a day and age where the Premier League was being nowhere near the level it is now. It was being brought to the world stage. Henry was one of the forefathers to make the Premier League what it is in today's day and age. He was one of the guys who was taking eyes away from the Serie A, taking eyes away from PSG. Not PSG, from La Liga, taking eyes away from 2 of the leagues that dominated the world and putting it back
so Salah could run
on the Premier League. So if you guys are going to sit here and say, "Oh, he's surpassed him in goals," yes, he has. He can surpass him in assists too, but it doesn't make him a better player.
So why do we have to come to
it also doesn't make him.
Why do we have to come to your intangibles here, though?
It also doesn't make him.
No, but the argument.
A legend.
Yeah, but the problem is here, Gal. Yeah, my issue is what you're saying is fair for Henry, but I'm also making the argument that Salah also had that some level of impact. We should be honest about that too. Like, in terms of what he brought, in terms of the stuff that he's been doing, the amount of market, the amount of people that he's actually brought eyes to the Premier League as well as as a player. And from where he's from as well, the humble beginnings, I think you could make just as big as an argument that he has also had that level of impact too, which I think would be a bit unfair to Salah too.
You know what I'll say, right? As a Liverpool fan, for me, I will say Henry is the GOAT, right? I'll say Henry is the GOAT. But what I will not have, and what Arsenal fans seem obsessed with doing, is saying Henry and there's no discussion. And they'll say that like Henry's untouchable. And I'm sorry, whenever you have a player, and I've said this about Liverpool players in the past, you can have a player that you put on the pedestal, but you should never put them on a pedestal to the point where and say they can never be surpassed, because there's always someone who can come along and surpass that person. Because when you're doing that, that's absolutely not fair. That's you having a different mentality. Salah deserves to be in the conversation. And if Salah's in the conversation, I'm fine. People are entitled to their opinion, whether they're Liverpool fans, Arsenal fans. If some Liverpool fans want to say Salah's the GOAT, why should anybody gatekeep that and say that's not no piss off, that's ridiculous? people are allowed to have their own opinion. Let them have their own opinion. There's no need to get thingy. Most of the people, like, unless you're,
you know why it's interesting, Rax?
So one second. Unless you, in my opinion, unless you're 35 years old, right, or older, you actually haven't seen. You didn't live through the time when Henry was playing in the Premier League.
That's a shot at Ahmed. Rax is taking a shot at Ahmed with that one.
No, because
I am that
age. Because he came to the league in 1998, right?
Yes.
So if you were 6 or 7 years old in 19, I'm sorry, I'm not taking your opinion. It's not a valid opinion.
Yeah.
You have to be at least you at least have to be in your mid-teens or older to be able to fully establish that. And I'm sorry, you can read about numbers in books, and you can listen to watch Arsenal.
You gotta have a beard or a mustache. You don't have a beard or a mustache.
Yeah. This is a great point, and it's a great debate, because the problem is, Igal, is that once you get down to things that are subjective and then try and pass it off as fact, that's when you start having an issue. Yeah. And the thing is that I don't even, like, personally, I think Henry,
I'm just giving you my opinion. I'm not saying it's a fact.
No. What I'm saying is like, in terms of the rationale that you're giving as to why Henry is better than Salah, it's subjective.
Can I bring
know for a statement of fact, Salah is a better goal scorer than Henry. We that is not debatable now. He is a better goal scorer than Henry was, right? Why is it? I mean,
is it because he did it in less games? Is that what happened? He did it in less games.
I think he did it in like. But he also he's doing it from the wing, not up front.
See, I don't want to know. I don't want to do the whole heat map wing play kind of. We know how central. We know how central. We know how central Salah ends up being within the Liverpool system. But I just want to ask this. Because I like to deal with facts, right?
Yeah.
I won't even speak to rivals. I'm going to speak to Rax on this one. Was there ever a conversation between...
We're not rivals. Are we not rivals? It's just City Pool. It's a City Pool thing.
No, we are rivals. No, we are rivals.
You're not rivals with nobody. He's going to say City Pool again.
Okay, all right. I do get along with everyone. I get along with everyone, so maybe yeah. But I want to ask this question, because Jay was bringing up whole facts, right? Was there ever a moment where there was a conversation between who's greater, Thierry Henry or Steven Gerrard?
No, because they don't play in the same area of the pitch.
Okay. No. I mean, we're talking. No, I'm talking about impact player. Who's the greater player? Prem. Who represented the Prem? Who was the image? Who was the face? Was there ever a conversation to debate between the two? I would say no.
No, I don't think so.
But you don't really compare players outside of the same position.
Yeah, with Gerrard, it's always been the Gerrard Lampard Scholes, and like neither Lampard nor Scholes were.
Let's not spend too much time on it. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Now, is there a conversation between who's greater, Salah or Steven Gerrard?
Yeah, for sure.
And so if there's a debate amongst the two, but there wasn't a debate with Gerrard and Thierry Henry, I don't think there should be a comparison of Thierry Henry and Mo Salah. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah, but I could also flip that and say if there is a comparison between Mo Salah and Henry, then there should be a comparison betwing Gerrard and Henry.
But see how you're doing revisionist now. You see But you see how you're being a revisionist. But
there is a conversation. No, but there is a conversation. I think there is a conversation. But generally speaking, you tend to group people. Like people are not going to say.
No. Let's bring it back. No, hold on, Rax.
Go on.
We talked about impact, right? When Igal was talking about impact, face of the league, putting it on the map, right? Was that ever a conversation with Steven Gerrard?
No, but the rationale is that you always tend to group people within their positional areas. Like, for example, in my opinion, Van Dijk is just as good a player as Mo Salah in what he does, right?
Okay.
But because he's a defender, he's never going to be brought up in these conversations because inevitably everybody loves the beautiful games, and so goal scorers will automatically garner that attention.
Okay.
Rack, what is this guy talking about? McAllister's red card similar to Myles Lewis-Skelly's?
Similar to my not first time. Okay.
Was it? If I'm not mistaken, the red card that he got, he literally stomped on somebody and Bournemouth's foot.
Which one did you? I thought he was talking about the City game where Doku went into McAllister. Is that it or?
I'm confused.
McAllister,
Doku
is the one McAllister should have got a red, or the one McAllister did get a red?
There's a more of a coming together. I wouldn't say that Doku kicked McAllister.
It was the 17th of August. What happened then?
Not sure.
I don't know.
Not sure, mate.
McAllister red card on the 17th of August.
Hey Rax, can I speak real quick? It looks like Adidas are just gonna do those same kits, except instead of New Balance, it's gonna have the Adidas logo. Is that fair to say?
Oh, the Adidas kit looks nice. Did you see it?
The people who make the best kits, in my opinion, New Balance made the best Liverpool kits. Obviously, we'll see what Adidas does.
Because you won a Champions League wearing it.
No, that's not the reason. I'm saying that their kits were actually unique. A lot of the Nike Liverpool kits are just pretty bland and pretty average. Whereas because we were the crown jewel in New Balance's thing, we got custom made kits every season. They look different.
You're just another club with Adi and Nike.
Yeah, you got. They
I disagree, man.
So their home kit, for example, was quite. It appealed to everybody, and then they had a second kit, the away kit. Was a little bit different, but not crazy. And you had a third kit, which was you targeted different people. People who wanted a traditional look and people who wanted a thingy.
One thing I will say is that I think for me the best kit maker, in my personal opinion, is Adidas, bro. I'm genuinely be serious. I think Adidas make the best kits in football. In my personal opinion.
Amazing. I mean, they're right.
They look quality, man. I'll be honest. They look quality. I'll be honest. Yeah.
For the green one, I think the green one looks a bit. Yeah, the green one looks kind of more classic. The red one, I think, looks a bit.
The red one is just rinse and repeat.
That looks like a Man United kit. That looks like a Man United kit.
You're complaining about the Adidas kit.
Who's repeat?
You know what, guys? We've spent 42 minutes. We still haven't spoken about Man City, Chelsea, or Spurs. But let's just do Spurs first because we never know if Jay's going to disappear on us.
Jay in the building.
That was a nasty stray, man. That was
Jay, relegation form. Now,
yes.
we don't do this thing where we just try to talk over Jay. Let him get his points across. Go ahead. But Jay, try not to use 17,000 characters.
Before Jay goes,
man just said we spent 42 minutes on Arsenal. Don't try and use. Okay, no, okay.
Jay, before you go, can you remind us what was the expectations or what did you say?
Well, so I went into this game fully knowing it was feasible that we might lose. People were like, "Oh, you can't lose."
You did say that.
People were like, "You can't." I was like, "No, we definitely can lose."
You didn't guarantee a win.
No,
I didn't know. Did I? Hell.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Okay.
No, I predicted we would win. I didn't guarantee a win. Like, there's no, like, you know me. I'll never predict a Tottenham loss. It's just against my nature. We could be playing Real Madrid with 15 stars.
Yeah, you're a fighter.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, no, you never know. We could nick the ball off Mbappe on the break. So the way I look at it is, like going into this game, we've lost to Ipswich, we've lost to Everton, we've now lost to Leicester, we drew with Wolves at home. It's not looking good, bruv. It's so like at the moment, it's just like there's literally nothing anyone like this. We have like just when we went into this game now, Maddison got injured just before the game, and I look at the team and you look at the bench and there's like Johnson's injured, Werner's injured, Odebear's injured, Solanke's injured, Maddison's injured.
I know about injuries.
Everybody is injured. And it's like, okay, if you played like a low mid block, it wouldn't matter. Do you know what I mean? If you played that style of football where the fitness of your players isn't integral, calm. But we play a pressing style, this and that, and yeah, I mean, I don't really think there's an excuse for dropping the points. It's like I feel the bar has been lowered so much now, where it's almost like we're justifying these defeats. But on the other hand, the amount of injuries is just insane, and it's new injuries. Like Spence was injured, Obviously, so it's Spence, Udogie, Van de Ven, Romero, Vicario. Bizuma's still injured. Sarr was half fit, couldn't really play. Everyone else who's playing has basically played every 3 games for the last 7-8 weeks. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to say, oh, it's acceptable to lose, but also it's like, you know, it's just difficult to just completely slam the team. Do you know what I mean? With the injuries, it's not good enough. Everyone knows it's not good enough. But by the same token, like, people can say, I don't want to hear about injuries. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If Arsenal played 5 games without Gabriel, Saliba, and Raya, they would be doing podcasts about. They'd be doing, you know what I mean, Netflix
emergency streams.
Doing Netflix documentaries about how they survived. Do you know what I mean? And people have the audacity to be like, "Oh, it's not, bro." Listen, it is that deep. Like, it is unfortunately that deep, because I've never seen a team with this many starters missing. Like, even Chelsea last season, yeah, they had some starters missing, and then some squad players missing, but it wasn't like 7 or 8 starters at the same time. Do you know what I mean? No, see, Jacobs, this is my point. You've missed games without... No, you've never missed... There's not one game Arsenal have played this season without one of Raya, Gabriel, or Saliba. In fact, 90% of the games, you've had all 3. Right? So, for Arsenal fans to start talking about, oh, well, no, bro. Yes, you're missing Saka, just like Spurs did without Maddison for 3 months last season, or Spurs did without Van de Ven. That's my point. Like, it gets to a point where you just have to give them a little bit of leeway. But we are sleepwalking into a relegation fight. Yeah, and I think Newcastle is a good example. Newcastle last season, when they had a lot of injuries, when they were playing in the Champions League, and when they were doing this as well, they really, really struggled. You know, they were losing a lot of games to the point where people were saying, is Eddie going to lose his job? What's the difference between this season and last season for Newcastle? They're not in Europe, and their players are fit. You know, so yeah, listen, I feel like, and this is my point, injuries are not the reason Spurs are where they are, purely. But they are a highly contributing factor as to why Spurs are where they are. And it makes it very difficult for you to objectively look at the manager and completely blame the manager for the situation. Do you see what I mean? It's not categorically clear if this is all Ange's fault or whether or not it's the injuries. It's just not clear. It's almost impossible to tell. So I think the thing is that, like, and people make a lot of justifiable points. We had a full squad for the first game of the season. I'm not trying to say that the injuries are the reason why Spurs didn't beat Ipswich or lost to Palace. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that now, at a point where you can't rotate and players are playing every 3 games, it's very difficult to position it. Like, and yes, managerial style is down to it. I'm not saying that Ange himself and his style of play is not exacerbating the situation, because you're asking these guys to do, you know, half-pitch sprints 20, 30 times a game. You know, there's a lot of strain on the players. I get that. And there's a huge argument to be said that Ange's style of play is not sustainable in the modern Premier League style because of the intensity it puts on players. And I hear that argument. I'm merely saying that right now, when you've been playing Archie Gray at centre-back for 5 weeks, when you've been playing Dragusin, who's 22, like, I know he looks like he's 45, like Zangief from Street Fighter, but he's 22. Bro, he's 22.
Oh my God.
He's 22, and he should not be the senior centre-back. And yeah, there's issues with squad building and a lot of things. I'm not abdicating Ange. Ange has made a lot of tactical errors. Like, he's made mistakes. But again, it comes back to, you know, Spurs with their players are a much, much better team, and they need a much better squad. Obviously, to me, what Spurs are doing at the moment isn't good enough. And there's a huge argument to be said another manager could get more out of the squad because he wouldn't be asking them to do what Ange is doing. But also, again, the injuries give Ange some hint of plausible deniability. And, we'll see what happens Romero's back in training. Van der Ven's back in training next week. Odebear's back in training in 2 weeks. Vicario's back in training now. In 2 weeks' time, Spurs will have 6-7 players back. Yeah. And then we'll see what the team's made of. No excuses.
Fair enough. And relegation battle, you genuinely, bottom of heart, don't believe you're going to be in it?
No, only because the gap is big. If you basically tell me Leicester, Ipswich, Wolves get 8 points more than us between now and the end of the season, it's hard for me to believe. It's not impossible. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but I'm saying it's hard for me to believe. And the thing is actually just on the part of it, injuries are a part of football. That's fine. No one's disputing that. But what I'm trying to say is that, I'm saying Udogie, Van der Ven, Romero, Vicario. That is 4/5 of your defense that has not been here for the last 6 weeks. Yeah? Then you're taking out Bazuma, Sarr, who's been missing. Spence is missing too. So basically, you can't rotate Porro. So he's fallen off a cliff. Kulu's the only right winger because Brennan Johnson's injured. Madison's out too, so you can't rotate. Bro, if you can't see the issues with this and how this is way more than just injuries, and Spurs are playing in every competition as well, by the way, because Spurs are still in the semi-final of the League Cup. They're playing every week in the Europa League. You can crap on Ange all you want, but let's not ignore the context, right?
Yeah, I just
how long was Jhon stop there? He was speaking for quite a while, right? That was a good 7 or 8 minutes.
It's because the comment. I was looking in the comments.
Yeah, guys, I got distracted because the Premier League referees love to do deflection tactics. With the Premier League referees having so much pressure on them right now, they've asked David Coote to do an interview, and the man
They haven't asked David Coote to do an interview.
The man came out and did an interview.
Yeah, okay. Actually, what you say doesn't make sense. He's been injured twice this season. And Kulusevski is barely run at the moment.
He's been sacked.
So how have they asked him to do an interview?
Okay, so he's been sacked. He went and did an interview on his own. Doing this interview doesn't get no sympathy for what he's done wrong. Just because he came out doesn't mean it. He came out today and said, talking about his sexuality. What does that have to do with? What does that have to do with anything related to the decision of sacking him?
Yeah, but this has got nothing to do with the PGMOL. The first thing you said was that his deflection tactic. It's not deflection. The guy just come out and did an interview, whatever it is. I don't.
All right,
frankly,
let's get on to Man City Chelsea. Vader's got to run. Vader, get back here, bro. First thing I'm going to say is just because Phil Foden's on form right now and he scored in his last 6 games doesn't mean all of a sudden everything's back to normal. I need to see Phil Foden do this from now to the end of the season, have a sustained period of dominance, because he's supposed to be one of the best players in the league, and for majority of the season he hasn't been performing like it. As for Chelsea, they are exactly who I think they are. They're a really good team versus smaller teams, and against the bigger teams, they haven't really been able to show up much this season. Versus Arsenal, versus Liverpool, versus City, no wins. And they can get wins versus Tottenham and Manchester United here and there, but they're really more flat track bullies. And guys like Levi Colwell, slightly overrated. Cole Palmer, not showing up once again in the big game, unfortunately. The rest of their defense is very shaky. The goalkeeper, Sanchez, is playing against them. And Man City's new signings, they look decent. It's unfortunate that the young centre back made a mistake leading to the first goal. That's a rough start to your Premier League career. And yeah, Erling Haaland's back on the goal sheet doing his thing. Overall, that's what I got to say about the City Chelsea game. I thought it was a very entertaining game. Ahmed, what are you saying?
I think my issue with this game was that I think we came into this game with the right game plan. But I feel like after 10 or 15 minutes, we just decided to stop doing the game plan. I think that's what my issue really is with what I think. Like, if I want to sum it up perfectly, that's what happened. Oh my god, what the flip? I just realized my camera just fell. Sorry, boys. But like, essentially, what happened with us was He had a really great game plan. We were pressing them. Obviously, we tried to press the younger lad. I think it's Kusanov, if I'm not mistaken. We were actually very effective as well when we were pressing them. Obviously, we got our first goal via that. Even continuing onwards in that 15, 20 minutes, we did well. But then after that 20 minutes, bro, yeah, literally, we just stopped pressing. We just allowed them to pass the ball along, get into the midfield. And then all they kept on doing, because we were doing a high line and everything, over the top, on the side. And the thing is, yeah, you need to give them credit in the sense that that was really helping to get the best out of their new guy in Manmush, right? Because obviously it's from the Bundesliga. He knows how to do it really well. I think another guy that I would probably say that was doing really well for them was obviously Haaland, in terms of how he was able to then drift out wide, get one or two players on. And I think that did the job for them at the end of the day. I think the other issue was, I don't want to speak about Sanchez because I feel like on this show, we speak about Sanchez way too much. But I think the story is there. I don't think there's nothing else that needs to be said. I think for me yesterday, it was the game or the day before. Jackson, for me, 7 days in a row now. 7 games in a row now where he's not scored and he's continuously looked worse. And I think for me, from a manager perspective, he should not be playing right now, realistically. Like, even if it means you have to put on a youngster in that position, that should be happening because he's not really... I feel like, in general, his game plan in general has been terrible, Jackson. And I feel like with Levi Cole, the problem with Levi Cole is that I want to give a little bit of leeway in the sense that he's just come back from injury. He's not 100% fit. Even Enzo himself is not 100% fit. They've just been rushed back. And I think that's part of it. But at the end of the day, I think right now, from a squad perspective, we really need a goal scorer. I think for me, we need someone there that's gonna, finish our chances. Because Chelsea right now, we are creating, we're just not finishing our dinner. Because
can I just quickly say that I feel like Sanchez's stinker distracted people from how poor Chelsea actually were.
Exactly. Yes.
Beyond the first 10 minutes, nobody is talking about how Chelsea got given a goal. And that boosted Chelsea's confidence. I don't think Chelsea even started amazingly well. Just immediately, 2 minutes in, you're ahead. Exactly. The Jackson miss, but both Palmer and Jackson have a lot of blame in that moment.
Yeah.
Because the pass by Palmer, is poor. Yeah. But Jackson has to shoot it. Yeah. You don't be afraid of missing. He's clearly scared of missing at the moment. And if you're not going to take these shots, you've got to say, okay, this is an issue. But because
just to help you out quickly, he's on a 7-game rut right now, bro. No goals. He's been looking consistently worse in front of goal as well, by the way. But continue on.
Yeah, so I'm saying that basically when you look then moving faster, the tactical setup by Chelsea was so poor in this game. And I mean it from the point of view of saying you have to go and press City. You have to go and attack. The worst thing about playing a high line is if you don't put pressure.
Exactly.
Playing the ball.
Exactly, bro.
You can't have players like Haaland and Marmoush who are running off the last man and you're not pressing the ball.
100%.
10 yards. Like, you can't play like that. Like, so the thing is that from my point of view, it's like, okay, we had something and it was working. And hold on one second. Hold on.
Yeah, but while Jay obviously is coming back from that, that's really.
Is Vader back? Vader, you there?
No, Vader says it's going to be 10 minutes, so he's going to be back in 3. Should be something like that. Yeah. Because
so, I was saying, So like I'm saying that in that moment, then when you're chasing a game, and you're making bad decisions, Maresca was just not on it. So in the midfield, Chelsea had big spatial issues. This is where you start to understand. And I said earlier in the season, like, people are, Palmer is a 10. I said, listen, Palmer is not definitively a better 10 than he is a right winger. Yeah? And now, the body of evidence that we've got now, a Palmer right wing versus Palmer 10, inconclusive. Do you know what I mean? To me, it's not conclusive that he's a better 10 than a right winger. And in this game as well, whilst Jackson is having a bad game, he offers something that Nkunku never will in this formation. That is, that first goal that Chelsea scored never is scored if Nkunku's playing. Do you see what I mean? As it,
Yes.
it's the threat, it's the bullying thing. It's that's how Jackson roughed them up, and it's the intangibles that he's offering, you know. But Chelsea, to me, are carrying too many players at the moment. Noni had a threat, but wasn't there. Neto comes on left wing. You got Neto left wing, crossing the balls in to a midget in Nkunku.
But wait, please, Jay, yeah? Please pause there for me, friend. Please, yeah. This has been, another fundamental issue at Chelsea.
They like to be called little people.
You know what I mean, yeah? Because I don't know who we are crossing into. Is it the ghost of Drogba? The ghost of Diego? It was, you know what I mean? Diego Costa, there we go. See? Like, I don't know what's going on. No, because, like, this is actually, like, kind of, because we've been doing this the last 7 games. There's been games previously where we've been doing this where we keep on crossing to someone that doesn't exist. Jackson, he's one of Jackson's weaknesses, and I've noticed this, is his positioning in the box, and then also like he's not able to read. He's not able to like make the right read so that he comes into the box at the right time. Unironically, the guy that does that really well is the guy that Jay was talking about, who's the shorter guy, Correa, which is why he's had like 200 goals.
It's amazing.
No, but that's my point, Jay. Like Jay, that's my point, Jay. Like I'm making the point that the short guy is the one that's got a better movement than the striker.
But the thing is if all Chelsea's players, if all Chelsea's players played with the same level of urgency, as Cucurella, they would be doing so much better. This is the sort of game where I'm watching Chelsea's players and I'm like, man, I'm looking at Sancho and I'm like, man, what an easy game. What an easy game that new centre back / right sided player had. He's just made a big mistake. Yeah, Sancho, would it kill you to just run it? And that's where straight away I'm like, this is why Chelsea want Garnacho. Because if Garnacho was on that pitch, after that defender had made a mistake, the guy wouldn't have stopped running at him. He would have kept running at him and running at him and running at him. And to me, Chelsea, this is a game where Chelsea had it in their hands and they just
let it go after 10 minutes.
They just lost the. And to me, the question that I'm starting to see now with Chelsea, and I'll flip it over to Igala and Rax, is that the patterns, the movements, the logic systems that I saw earlier in the season, I can't see them at the moment. I don't see them anymore. And lastly,
you're on mute, guy, for talking.
And Colwell, like for me, Colwell, a few weeks ago, I'd say a month ago, 6 weeks ago, I was really rating Colwell. I was saying that he was having a good season, and I was impressed by him. Since I literally praised him, ever since that moment, the month after, he's nosedive. Absolutely. And him and Chalobah defended Haaland like absolute amateurs. Yeah, they defend like they just. You don't play a Haaland like if you're not Rudiger, you don't play Haaland like that. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't try and bully him, you don't try and baby him, you don't try and get that tight swim because this guy was just rolling them. He was rolling them, he was running off them. Someone needs to make a judgment call. Let's drop this. Either the strikers and attackers need to press, or we need to drop this line 5 yards because it's just too easy.
Yeah, you know, guys talk. One of the things that I think has been mentioned a little bit is I thought Chelsea would win just because, not necessarily because I think Chelsea are going through a good period. I just thought City have been shocking, and they had a shocker against PSG. They haven't been playing well. As soon as a team comes up against them who can press them, who's more athletic than they are, they pretty much collapse. At least that's how it's been recently. And I expected Chelsea with their P&P players to kind of go that way, and it never really happened. And the problem is that people will say, I think Maresca came out and said that Champions League is not a target for this season. Champions League is a target for next season. Honestly, financially, I cannot see how that's possibly anywhere near true. When you spent that much money, Poch failed last season. for not getting Champions League football. If Maresca doesn't get Champions League football this season, that's also a failure.
So,
Like the amount of money that they are shelling out. The only reason they met PSR is because they sold. There's the Chelsea. There's Blueco a holding company, and then there's another company that owns Chelsea, or the other way around. Chelsea sold their hotel that was owned by the club. They sold it to their parent company and took money from their parent company and used that to meet PSR. When Chelsea eventually gets sold, all they'll do is they'll sell the holding company together, so that the new company that buys it will get the hotel anyway. That's how they got around PSR.
So right,
now,
let me just jump in here quick. Chelsea are ahead of schedule, and we're not surprised where they were to start the season to where they are now. This is where they're supposed to be, in the mix for top 4. They're still a team that is getting up there. And why are we surprised when they go away to Man City that they don't go and win? It's not a surprise. Like
no.
So the problem this is where I think I think a lot of fans that are outside of Chelsea are not understanding. I think the situation. Chelsea, Rack is right, by the way, in the sense that the club themselves have come out. A lot of our own reporters have come out to say Chelsea need top 4 this season. We actually have to get top 4 this season. Like, this is something that's literally been said out. We need it financially, as Rack has said already, and this is something they've said. So they're banking on this team getting them UCL football, top 4 football. That's what they've said and come out to say. So for me, all the stuff you're saying, Nigel, would make sense if they had said we don't need top 4 football, right? That would have made sense then. But if you're saying you need top 4 football and you need to get all this stuff, then what you're saying cannot make sense then. And they already believe in the squad, to get top 4. And the argument I would make to you is that if you just look at last season, right, with Pochettino, with a less experienced squad, we were only 5 points off getting top 4 football, right? This season, you've got a manager that suits the players. You've got better players in there as well, arguably. You've got guys that have got a year more of experience, right? Realistically, that should be bridging in. Yes.
And also, it's probably 5th place this season is going to be
exactly.
So if Chelsea don't even get in the top 5, that they've actually gone backwards also from a position.
We are basically the same. We've just remained in the same position because we've been 6th last season. So realistically, I just think for me, listen, last season, not finishing top 4, I could accept because I was like, at the end of the day, it's a season where they're young lads, they need to develop. We go into the summer, we build more. This season is unacceptable with the money you've spent. And like, again, at Chelsea Football Club, there has to be a minimum expectation. That's what I like to call it. You know when you do GCSEs, they tell you what's your minimum expected grade.
Your expected grades.
Minimum expected grade, right? And then you go to aspirational grade, right? That's for my English. A lot of the English viewers, like UK viewers, understand what I'm talking about. Like our minimum expected, like just to see, should just be getting the top 4, and then if conference should be a guarantee, and then maybe like an FA Cup, of course, right? That should really be what we should be looking at the end of the day.
Vader.
But I wanna, before Vader goes, congratulations, Vader. I wanna congratulate you on the win. You know what I mean?
Just before you go, Vader,
I have to address this.
If you get Poch, where do you think you'd be right now?
This is I've heard people ask me this question, and I think it's difficult because the problem is the reason why Poch left was because of the fact that he wasn't being allowed to basically choose the players that he wants to bring in because the club wanted to do that, right? Now, if that was the case and you brought in players Poch wanted, it's difficult, bro, because like with the injuries and stuff, would we be better? Possibly, I'll say probably on the balance of stuff and the way stuff was going towards the end.
What do you mean possibly? We have the last 19 games of last season.
The reason why I say that,
I don't want to take it off because obviously the floor.
Go ahead.
We have the data of how Poch finished. You then gave Maresca more players on top of it. Yeah, it wasn't even because you forget. Poch had to play players. Listen, Poch has to play players like Chilwell.
Yeah, but the reason why I'm saying that, Jay,
your sporting directors hadn't said sell Chilwell. Now
So-
you say it's on Chilwell, so the new manager has the benefit of not having to play Chilwell.
Yeah, but
But
what I
Poch
would
never
say
had
to
that
you,
benefit.
what I would
Hold on. Poch had to play Chilwell.
yeah, I get what you're saying. No, I understand where you're coming from, but I think the main factor that I would add.
Maresca's had the benefit of Poch putting a style of play in. Yeah, it's not a coincidence. Maresca plays transition ball a lot more than I thought he was going to play. So now you've got similarities in style. Obviously, people like Gallagher you got rid of. Yeah, you telling me you couldn't use a Gallagher right now?
Probably no. I don't think he really has that much of team.
I saw Dewsbury Hall touch pitch.
I'll be honest. Listen, I'm a big fan of Gallagher right now, but I think in the way we play, technically speaking, I think it'd be a bit more of a hindrance. I'll be honest. But off the bench, I would of course want him to be on the bench for me as a fan. But I was just gonna. The reason why I'm still saying possibly of Poch is because of there's one factor that we have all not taken into consideration: injuries. Okay. Because Poch and his injury history, whatever team goes, and particularly last season, a bit like Ange. That's like a big thing. I don't think people like would are really taught.
That's fair. Fair. So you might have not. So you might have had some more players injured. You might not have. You had the benefit of Thiago Silva.
Yes. Right.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying.
Not completely clear. All right. I'll let you have that.
All right, Vader. Before you left, we were talking about Foden. Just because he's doing well right now doesn't mean that what we've been talking about this season is not valid. I need to see a sustained level of success for somebody to be considered world-class, to be considered one of the best, to be considered Premier League player this season, PFA player this season standards have to be upheld.
So,
now,
he is the reigning Premier League player of the season, Miguel.
He is, but he's not performing.
I got you.
He's dipped this season, and I need to see a sustained level. And I'm just saying that because earlier you're saying, "Oh, keep the same energy." I am.
Yeah. It's listen. What I absolutely love about the fact that we're able to do shows and you allow me to feature in your channel is I can keep track. I can be here. So when I notice a change in energy, when I notice how you may want to spin the narrative on one of your players that you consider to be great, and it's a short list over at Arsenal, I will be here. Now, I was listening. The breakdown that Ahmed gave with regards to the game, I respect it. We had a few conversations going into the game, and I heard about his breakdown. I heard about why he felt confident going into the game. And when I heard everything that happened to say about why he was confident, I then waited and I asked him, "What's your confidence level with your keeper?" And his eyes like brightened. His facial expression went from confidence to like, damn it. He had was it a minus $1 million? I think that's what he said, minus $1 million for his confidence when it came down to his keeper. But then his team was plus $1 million. He had plus $1 million confidence in his team with regards to why he was going to get a win versus City. Let me remind each and every one of you, we're 4-peat winners for a reason. All right? We are champions. We are a club that did something that no one's ever done before. And that deserves a level of respect. So my blue brother, respect to you. But listen, that cockiness, that confidence going up against me was misplaced. It was placed wrongfully because I got these guys. I have these players that have been stepping up, right? Igal wants to downplay last season. Okay, I don't want to talk about last season. Phil Foden's quality is showing us. It's coming through. A lot of things are calmer in his life. Haaland, who many want to talk about, he's not a complete striker. I rate better strikers. He's one goal off, as poor as his season's been. He's one goal off of leading this league in goals being scored. Everyone wants to talk mad about Isak. Oh, Isak's amazing. Look what he's doing. Salah, look at what he's doing. Haaland is right there. Quietly, because it's expected of him, right? Of Haaland, it's expected he's supposed to be getting goals like this. Rax has an amazing keeper. I would never take anything away from him. But he's one-dimensional.
Don't try then.
What? I'll never take anything away from him. But he's
but there's going to be a but.
There's no but.
I knew there was going to be a but there.
There's no but.
You literally said
no,
but.
there's no Nicki Minaj big butt here. There's no big butt here. What I'm
Oh my god!
in addition to him being a shot stopper, he doesn't excel like my man Ederson does in terms of being a complete footballer. I can trust Ederson. And when you guys were speaking about what went well, what didn't go well, why didn't Chelsea do what they need to do to get the win? They tried to press, but you know who you can't press? There's one keeper. There's many, but there's one keeper in the Prem that you absolutely cannot press, and that's Ederson. Because if you choose to do it, you're taking someone out of position. If you don't do it, which Chelsea chose not to do because they didn't want to be that vulnerable, then you're leaving something else of danger. And Ederson had time. Ederson actually did this display that you saw versus Chelsea. Igal was having deja vu. Igal was watching this as like, oh my gosh, why am I having cold sweats? Because he was reminded of what we did versus Arsenal 2 seasons ago. They tried to defend like this. They tried to defend like this, and we had balls over the top, and KDB and Haaland punished them. This was when they were leading the league for 93%. When
Rob Holt, by the way.
Yeah, scapegoat the player. When it comes down to what this type of defense that you try to execute, there's plus and minuses. I think we were fortunate to have some balls fall the right way. Haaland making the most of it, Foden making the most of it. I think that despite the poor start, we were still going to be a team to dictate play at the Etihad. It's our home ground, right? So, all in all, I'm happy for the win. The debut from Kostanov.
Playing Liverpool, right?
Wait, what? What do you mean? What do you mean unless I'm playing Liverpool?
How'd you guys play at home when you're facing Liverpool?
You mean having a poor game?
I think he was trying to be snarky, but we played at Anfield. Don't they play you in a few weeks?
We play them next in the Prem. We play Arsenal next. Yeah, next.
Oh. Love that.
We play Arsenal next. But look.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Oh,
the chest isn't as big once you saw Mamouche, isn't it? Hey, God.
It's going to be different. I want to talk about the players that made their debuts. Kostanov had a tough first 5 minutes. Absolutely. Made a mistake. Didn't realize, I think, how far away he was. That header had not enough power on it, and it cost us the goal. The play from Jackson, and I think Ahmed's being a little harsh. Like Jackson, I know he hasn't registered goals recently, but he has contributed with some assists, in my opinion. He has been trying to make his impact into the game, despite not getting the goals. But we know that
was his first assist in 7 games.
That was his first assist in 7 games. Okay, so he's trending upward. When it comes down to obviously needing more quality, yes, Chelsea need more quality. Because everyone wants a striker, right? Igal was talking about he doesn't want to spend that type of money on Duran. You're talking about trying to get strength as well. Is the price tag too high? Who knows? But I know what a killer striker means. I know the difference it means. Jay knows when he had Kane there, how much of a difference maker it is. Sometimes you have to spend that cash. Sometimes you have to make yourself vulnerable in terms of exposing yourself with what you're spending to get someone like that, because it can do wonders. Liverpool tried to do it a couple seasons ago. They thought they were going to get a killer. They thought they were going to get someone that was going to be up there. I mean, they got Noodles instead, who now has to play a role, but he came through big for them versus Brentford. So there's going to be glimpses. There's going to be moments. My squad right now, it's one game at a time. Close enough. Hey, get yourself right. You're going to be fine. You're going to have to, ESL is going to be your move right now. That's the biggest thing that you have to do. Get proficient with understanding how to communicate with these players with English. Mamouche, Andy, I see you. Mamouche, I was so surprised to see him as a starter. Have you ever?
Desperation? That is desperation, though, Vader. The fact that
no, I'm not gonna. No, Rax, no, Rax. No, it is not.
Why would you do that? Who does that?
I'll explain it.
Who starts? Marmouche arrived 2 days ago. The other guy has been here a week. Why would you start them both?
I'll explain it to you.
Go ahead, please. Please enlighten me.
Many of us have talked about injuries. Many of us. Pep was like, let me get some bodies that are healthy on that pitch. rather than playing someone that's, I got him 50-50, they're 75%. No, let me get them healthy. He put on Kosanov, 20 years old. Hey, go out there. Show me what you can do. He played 45 minutes. Cool with it. Now, a little more than that. He also started because of his health, in my opinion, because of his trust, in my opinion. And it speaks a lot because you guys know, City, coming to Manchester City, that's Oxford. That's Cambridge. That's Harvard. That's Yale.
Vader.
Don't
Vader.
No, Mamouche. I gotta hype up Mamouche and start.
Vader. We got 2 more videos we're gonna be doing about City this week. As we're gonna be facing you. The question I have is, you guaranteeing a win in the Champions League to go through?
You want to talk? You cut me mid-flow to talk about Champions League. I was
just that's tomorrow.
Vader, we need to wrap the shit
up,
on
Wednesday.
I play Champions League tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I play Wednesday. Yeah, but I play Wednesday.
I know.
Okay,
all right.
No,
okay.
Isn't everybody on the same day?
Let me move. No, let me move.
Wait, everyone's not on the same day? You're right.
Yeah, no, it's still split up. There's still so many games.
Everyone's playing on Wednesday.
Yeah. So it's going to be a madness. It's going to be a madness. Now, let me say this. I moved the microphone.
Mental. Yeah.
It's going to be crazy. I moved the microphone. Read my lips for those of you that may be only looking at the subtitles and you're not listening. We are winning this final game with Bruges.
The league.
No, Champions League. We got to win this game. We got to win this qualifying game in Champions League. That takes us to the playoffs. We are winning this game. When you beat the Pride of London, there's going to be a boost, right? There's going to be, you know what? Let's go on. Because I should be able to argue that Bruges and Chelsea are equivalent in terms of strengths. So let me take the confidence from beating a Chelsea, 2-time Champions League winners, you know what I mean? Let me take that into this Champions League game versus Bruges and get the result. And then we deal with Arsenal to close out the weekend.
And you know what, guys? I think that's where we're going to end it off. Good soliloquy right there. We're gonna end it off. Have a good night, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Big up everyone who joined us, and I'll catch you guys in the next show. Love for the love, people. Peace.